Welcome back to Velma Jean's Southern Kitchen. I'm Mike, and we're fixing to make a dish. It's called chicken parm cremora. Now, chicken parm typically is made with a red sauce, but I don't really like red sauce, so I do this almost like an Alfredo sauce. I got this from a local restaurant um, here in town, so I can't take the credit for it. I just tried to replicate it. I've had it before. It's really good. So basically how we're going to start here is I've got some chicken, some boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I've pounded out fairly thin. You want to get a meat tenderizer and pound those out. They don't need to be real thick. You'll never get them cooked. So we're going to start with that. And then what I have here, my dredge that I'm going to run this chicken through, this is just whisked up eggs with a little milk in it. It'll act as a binder. And then this here is Italian breadcrumbs with grated Parmesan cheese. It doesn't matter. I just buy the stuff over with the shredded cheese. The shredded Parmesan is what this is, but you can use like the canned stuff, grated, or you could grate it fresh yourself, whichever you want. So it's pretty simple. We have our oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I forgot my cheese. Let me grab that. We'll need this cheese before we stick it in the oven. So I can get it open here. Just bear with me. I'm not uh, still learning this whole video kind of deal. So I just want to kind of get it out and get it ready to go. So let me just get it out here on the counter. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take these chicken breasts that I've got here, and I didn't season them. I don't season the chicken because there's going to be a lot of flavor in the Italian breadcrumbs, and then of course there'll be a lot of flavor in the Alfredo sauce we use. Um, so I'm just going to run it through this egg a little bit. Use you a fork or some tongs or something. Maybe keep that off your hands. Kind of keep clean. And I'm going to run it through this breadcrumb dredge. I'm going to kind of press down on it with this fork. Get it good and sticky there. We want a good crust on it. We'll turn that over. We're going to do both sides here. We want a good crust on it. So we'll put that to the skillet if I don't drop it. And this here in the skillet, what I have is a mixture of olive oil and butter. A couple of tablespoons of butter and some olive oil, just enough to kind of coat the bottom. What you want to do, I like the butter flavor, but it'll burn in a skillet. So you put a little olive oil, it'll keep it from burning so bad. So I'm going to get this other piece going here. Good and covered with the egg. Into that dredge. I'm going to flip it over here. And it's cooking there. I've got water boiling for some pasta over there. Whoops. Almost lost it there. So we got them good and coated with the breadcrumbs. And what we're going to do, we're just going to do a couple of minutes on each side here. And then we're going to take this chicken after we get it 2 or 3 minutes on each side, and we're going to pop that in a 350 degree oven. It'll mainly be cooked. It'll mostly be cooked by then because they are so thin. I'm running the heat on the stove in this skillet about medium high. You don't want it too high. I'm using a cast iron, so you got to really be careful not to burn the breading on it. We don't want that breading to burn. So all we're trying to do is just kind of cook that breading a little bit and cook that chicken. And I've got my water boiling here while we're cooking the chicken. I'll go ahead and add, I'm just using spaghetti noodles. This is all I'm using. But you can use Alfredo noodles, linguine. Some people like penne pasta. I just like regular spaghetti noodles myself. So I'm just going to take a decent amount. See if I can pour them all over the place. And I'm going to commit a cardinal rule. I've always heard don't break up the pasta. I'm doing it anyway. So into the pot with some pasta. I don't really know why. If somebody knows, comment and tell me. Um, just never really had a problem with it. Always tastes fine to me. So we're going to boil that pasta, kind of give it a little stir. I put just a little bit of oil in with this water, and that just kind of helps the noodles from sticking so bad. So we have that going, and those noodles are just off camera a little bit. Let me see if I can. Everybody knows what a pot of boiling noodles looks like. So that's basically what we have. And this chicken's already smelling so good here. That buttery, the Italian seasoning that's in those breadcrumbs. Everything's just coming together now. So um, I'm going to go ahead and flip this and see. And as you can see, we have a pretty good browning on that side. That's what we're looking for. And then the same with this one here. I get it picked up. And there we go. Good little browning. We're going to let that go for a couple minutes. I'm going to turn the heat down on that pasta just a little so it doesn't spatter out. This isn't necessarily a southern dish, but it's a very good dish if you like some Italian every once in a while. Italian can be expensive when you go out. I can make this meal here. Everything I got here, I can feed 3 people for $12, around $12. So it's not a very expensive meal. Um, just catch your chicken on sale. Oh, speaking of sales, Harps had a really good sale today. I meant to post and tell y'all they had family packs of 80/20 hamburger on sale for $5 a pound and some sirloin pork chops. So I picked up a good little amount. I've got a vacuum sealer. I'll break those down into smaller packages. So always try to catch a meat on sale. As we know, everything's going up, so we try to be cost conscious. And if you just be disciplined, you can make it work. I know it's tough on everybody right now. We just have to be a little more disciplined on that. So this chicken's going, and this is another dish. I just kind of like the apple dump cake video I made, where it doesn't take a whole lot of effort, or you don't have to be some master chef. I'm definitely not a chef, um, but it turns out so good, and it'll turn out real pretty, and your family and your friends will think you spent just hours in the kitchen preparing this meal when you really didn't. So we're getting pretty close to where we want to be here with this chicken. We're going to let it go just a minute more. Uh, it smells delicious right now. Like I said, just get you some Italian breadcrumbs. It doesn't matter the brand. I just have these great value. They are Italian. You don't have to use Italian. They make a plain breadcrumb. If you have plain breadcrumbs, um, at home, don't go buy more. Maybe you have some Italian seasoning up here. I've got different seasonings up here in front of me that you might want to add to it. So yeah, you can use regular. And if you don't have Italian seasoning, just put a little salt and pepper in there. Just season those breadcrumbs a little bit. That'll give it some really good flavor. So I'm going to check these and give them a little turn here. Yeah, we're getting there. And these are going to go into the oven. I'm fixing to put them in the oven. And we're probably going to go 350 for, we're going to check them after about 5 or 6 minutes and see what they look like. So at this point, right before they're going in the oven, we're going to get some of this cheese. And we're going to put on top of this chicken. Now, I like provolone, but you can use mozzarella. You can use cheddar. It don't matter, whatever you like. You don't have to put cheese on it if you don't want to. This is how I do it. And I like a lot of cheese, so we're going to go a little bit more. Just kind of put some of that cheese on there, and that's going to melt nicely in the oven there. So I am using a cast iron skillet. So I will go directly into this oven in that cast iron, 350 degrees. Kind of see what we're looking at there. It's going to be good, guys. Into that oven. We're going to set that timer for about 6 minutes. Well, let's do 5 minutes, and we'll check it from there. So come back with us. When we come back, we'll be making that Alfredo sauce. Our chicken will be done. The pasta will be done. And we will put it all together and show you what it looks like. All right. Thanks for joining us, Velma Jean Southern Kitchen. Thank you. Welcome back to Velma Jean Southern Kitchen for part 2 of our chicken parm cremora. I've got some fixing to make our sauce. I got about 2.5, 3 tablespoons of butter going in the skillet there, and I'm going to add a good healthy tablespoon of chopped garlic. You can buy this in a grocery store chopped. You can chop your own. It also comes in a jar. If you don't like garlic, don't put it in there. I like a little bit. I don't like it overly strong, but I like a little bit. So there's our garlic going in. And we're just going to saute that garlic for just a minute. And boy, this chicken turned out wonderful, guys. It smells delicious. I got it baked and I turned the broiler on for just a minute or two to get that cheese to bubble on top. See if you take a look at that. Oh man, that's going to be good. We're gonna make this sauce real quick and then we'll start plating. So we'll turn the fire down a little bit to about a medium high, somewhere in there. So that garlic, since it's already chopped, it's not going to take long for it to break down. So we're about there now. I got that fire turned down a little bit, and I'm going to get a little whisk here, and I'm going to whisk in 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Now, the way I make this Alfredo, it really needs to be heavy whipping cream. Milk is really too thin, so buy a little bit of heavy whipping cream. So we're going to pour that in, and as I'm pouring it, I'm going to stir. Just going to whisk this around and kind of get it incorporated with that butter and get it in there with that garlic. And now we're halfway through our sauce, guys. This is super easy. So that whipping cream is going to it's going to thicken. So this will be a little thicker sauce. Plus, we're going to put some cheese in with this, some Parmesan cheese. So it's all going to come together. I'm just going to get that milk or that whipping cream a little warm, almost up to a simmer. If I can get that, I'm going to make a mess here. I'm going to turn that fire up just a little bit above medium high. Just going to bring that to a simmer. I've already got my pasta noodles done. They're over here at a frame. I don't have a lot of room to work, so I'm doing the best I can. But it's just spaghetti. I drained off the water. And as soon as we get this sauce, it's already starting to bubble a little bit around the edges. Give it another little stir. Want to kind of stir it. We don't want it to burn to the bottom. And this is the Parmesan cheese I was telling you about I bought. It's just like a fancy finely shredded Parm cheese. We're going to put some of that into this Alfredo sauce. That's what makes the Alfredo. I just judge it. I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a cup, half a cup to 3/4 to start with. It's always good to start with less than you can add, but you can't take away. So I'm going to stir that cheese in. It's automatically going to start melting down. So we're going to let that melt. I'm a cheese freak. Oh, look at that cheese. It's kind of messy for me, but I don't mind cleaning it up. It tastes good enough that I don't mind the cleanup. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to it. We don't need a lot of salt because that cheese has salt in it. And then a little bit of black pepper. And we're letting that go a little bit. I might add just a little bit more parm to it. And then I'm going to do something that I do that you do not have to do. This is next step. I'll take some of that, oh my gosh, provolone that I put on the chicken. And I'm going to put just a little bit of that provolone. I love provolone cheese. I love the smoked flavor to it. So that's why I do that. And you can see that stuff starting to thicken up really good. So let's get just a little bit of that provolone going here. And I'm just going to take these slices. I'm just going to kind of just break it up. And it's going to melt down pretty fast if you break it up. So let's get it all good and broke up in there. Probably not going to use the whole 2 slices, maybe just 1 slice. Dogs need a cheese tax. They're kind of off camera here. Here, dog. Here, Asher. Come here, mama. Get your bite of cheese. There you go. Okay, so the dogs have had their cheese tax. I'm fixing to have my Alfredo done. And I'm going to add something here that I think is a major key. You really need to add some Italian seasoning or something like that. I use this. It's Dano's. I don't know if y'all have ever used Dano's. It's called Dano's Cheesening. Now, this is like a little Parmesan cheese with Italian seasoning all mixed together. Man, this stuff is awesome. It's awesome just to sprinkle on top of spaghetti if you're having spaghetti. But I'm going to put that in my sauce. I'm going to sprinkle some in there. And I give it a good healthy amount. I don't really eyeball. I guess if I was doing it, I'd say that's about a half a tablespoon. And we're going to stir that in. And this stuff's ready. I mean, I'm going to turn it off. And we're going to call it ready. It's bubbling pretty good. All right. I'm going to set it off of the burner for just a second. And I'm going to go ahead and start plating here. So I'll get a plate. My fancy dishes tonight. No paper plates with this. So I'm going to take one of these piece chicken cutlets here, this chicken parm, and I'm going to put it there on the plate. Right there it is. And then I'm going to come over here. I'll be off camera, but I'm going to get a little pasta and add to that plate. All right, that's what we got going so far. Then we're ready to add this sauce, and I'm just going to pour it over, man. Just get some on that, as much as you want, some on that chicken, and some on there. That looks really good. Then I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna hit it. This is another option. You don't have to use this. Red pepper flakes. I like a little spice to it, so I'm just gonna spice it up a little bit with the red pepper flakes. Man, you got dinner. Easy peasy. Anybody can make it. If I can make it, you can. Thank you for joining us. Be sure if you're not following Velma Jean's Southern Kitchen on Facebook to follow us. And if you are following us, please share it out to other people. We want to get a lot of followers. We have fun doing what we're doing. So have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. Try these dishes. It's something different and it's economical. All right. Thanks, guys.